In the quiet village of Podpur, nestled between green hills and sparkling streams, life moved at the pace of the sun, slow, steady, and certain. People here knew one another by name, knew their cows and their children, and often their troubles too. But even in such close-knit communities, kindness could still surprise you. At the far end of the village stood a crooked little house with a tin roof that clanged whenever it rained. In that house lived an old man named Hari. He was a widower in his late 70s, thin as a stick but with eyes that still sparkled like morning dew. His only companion was a giant mango tree that grew in his backyard, ancient, with roots that had seen generations come and go. Every summer, when the mangoes ripened golden and sweet, Hari would collect them in baskets and leave them at the temple steps for anyone to take. He didn't sell them, though he could have. "God gave me this tree," he always said, "so I get what it gives me." But not everyone saw it that way. Rajiv, a local shopkeeper in his 30s, often complained. "He gives away what he should sell. No wonder the kids expect freebies," he grumbled. Kindness doesn't fill empty stomachs. Still, every summer, the mangoes came and Hari gave them all away. One year, however, disaster struck. A fierce storm swept through Podpur. Lightning cracked the skies, winds howled through the trees, and roofs flew like kites. When morning came, the village gathered to inspect the damage. The old school roof was torn. Several crops were flattened. And in Hari's backyard, the mighty mango tree had split in two. The villagers gasped when they saw it. The tree had stood for over 50 years. Now, it lay wounded, half of it crushed into the soil, the other half leaning dangerously over Hari's roof. Someone muttered, "It should be cut before it falls completely." Hari stood silently, staring at the broken bark. For the first time, his eyes didn't sparkle. They just stared, distant and wet. Over following days, he barely came out. No mangoes were collected that year. No laughter, children chasing after baskets. Just silence in the crooked house with the tin roof. One morning, something changed. 12-year-old Meena, a girl from the village, marched up to Hari's house with a sapling in her arms. She knocked. When he opened the door, she held it out. "It's a mango tree," she said shyly. "You gave us so many mangoes. I thought maybe we could grow another one." Hari looked at the small, spindly plant. "It'll take years to fruit, little one." "Then we better start today," she smiled. That evening, with trembling hands and teary eyes, Hari helped Meena plant the sapling beside the old stump. They named it Hope. The next day, Hari found 2 more saplings on his doorstep, then 5 more. By the end of the week, the children of Podpur had planted 37 mango trees across the village, in backyards near the school, along the riverbank. Each tree bore a little wooden sign, "For Hari Kaka, with love." Word spread quickly. The villagers began checking on the saplings daily. They watered them, protected them with bamboo fences, and told stories about the mangoes Hari used to give. The village that once took Hari's kindness for granted now protected its memory like treasure. And it didn't stop there. Rajiv, the grumpy shopkeeper, noticed a change. One evening, he knocked on Hari's door with a bag full of rice, dal, and pickles. "No mangoes this year, so I figured it's my turn," he said awkwardly. "Your kindness fed my son's mouth more than once." Hari's eyes welled up. "Thank you, Beta." A few weeks later, the village school organized a mango festival. Without mangoes, it featured songs, skits, and poems about kindness, generosity, and community. Hari was a guest of honor. When he walked up to speak, the children chanted, "Hari Kaka! Hari Kaka!" He looked at their eager faces and said just one line, "Kindness is a seed. It always grows, even when we think it's lost." 5 years later, Podpur was greener than ever. The new trees had matured and begun to fruit. The entire village now shared their mangoes, just as Hari once did. A community table near the temple offered fruit for free all summer. But Hari wasn't there anymore. He had passed quietly one spring morning, in his sleep, under the old half-standing mango tree. They buried him in the backyard, next to the stump, under the sign marked Hope. Every year, the children still come by to clean the spot. And every year, during the Mango Festival, they share the story of a quiet old man whose kindness planted not just trees, but a way of life